Good morning, you guys. Your boy Ben Mahari here, represent Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Hope y'all been having a good morning thus far. Now, I wanted to talk about the whole situation, what's been going on with Russell Westbrook. Well, the trade rumors have been heating up a lot because right now there've been a lot of people that been kind of disappointed in the fact that LeBron James has been pretty much reported that he doesn't want to play with Russell Westbrook anymore, and that ship is finally sailed. And am I surprised about this? No, because even before last season started, I said to myself that this experiment between Russell Westbrook and LeBron James was never going to work because both these guys are ball dominant players and they both need the basketball. And I just never pictured either of these guys, staying together for an entire season. While, Westbrook, played 78 games that entire year, LeBron James put up, excellent numbers, of course. But at the same time, there were a lot of people that were accusing LeBron James of pretty much stat padding. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is that, a lot of players in this league do a lot of stat padding themselves. So that's kind of a dead argument in of itself. But to stay on subject here, um, I've been hearing a lot of fans been talking about that this is unfair that Russell Westbrook's being the scapegoat for all of this, and that LeBron James should receive the criticism of what happened, this upcoming year. You know what I mean? I'm saying this previous season, I should say. But here's what I have to tell you about. All right, and this is going to disappoint a lot of you, and I don't really care. You guys need to wake up and realize Russell Westbrook is not the same player anymore. And unfortunately, this is the beginning of the downside of his career. And what I'm talking about is that the fact that this man right here, his game is pretty much reliant on athleticism and explosion. And right now at this stage of his career, he doesn't have that anymore. I mean, when you look at, you know, last year's totals, he only averaged 18 and a half points per game, right? He basically shot 40, pretty much he shot at least 44% from the field and shot 66% from the free throw line. And then he shot 29% from 3-point range. I mean, he put up terrible numbers this previous year. And now people are just people have been, been screaming at the fact that the guy missed a lot of shots. All right. Now, a lot of players miss shots all the time. I mean, that's just basketball. It is what it is. But it's just the way that he's approaching things is what's really has been screaming at people to the fact that to that Russell Westbrook, name tag. Now, I don't ever use that at all because I'm not going to play into that game. But I would not be remiss to the fact that there are so many times where I always felt that Russell Westbrook doesn't always play smart basketball a lot of the time. And it goes all the way back to his days in Oklahoma City, even when he was playing with Kevin Durant. There were so many times that I felt in games where, Russell Westbrook would always try to take things upon himself, trying to prove that he was the main alpha dog in Oklahoma City. And by the time, KD, left Golden State, left OKC after basically after 2016, pretty much it was Russell Westbrook's team. But if we're really being real with ourselves, has Russell Westbrook ever led his team past the first round after what Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City? No, he hasn't. And he's played with various superstars throughout his career. He's played with James Harden twice. That didn't work out. He's played with Paul George. Didn't work out. All right. He's played with um, Bradley Beal. That didn't work out. And now he's played with LeBron James and, Anthony Davis. And unfortunately, that has not worked out. Now, half of it is not entirely Russell Westbrook's fault because the way that that team was assembled for the Lakers this year did not fit the strengths of both Westbrook and LeBron James. We can pretty much say that. But for people that say that, oh, we need to stop calling him, Russell Westbrook and all that other stuff, I don't ever say that or use that Westbrook name at all. But I would be lying to you if I say that there were many times in games where I felt that Russell Westbrook always took bad shots all the time. And the other thing too is that now it's becoming a running joke that the fact that this guy has become much more confrontational. He doesn't want to change his game, and he's probably content at this point of being who he really is at this stage of his career, and won't sacrifice anything in the promise of a championship. And you're just sitting here like, do you guys see what is going on here? Russell Westbrook is becoming much more of a sideshow now than the great player that we once knew of when he was averaging triple doubles for 3 to 4 consecutive years in Oklahoma City. So we need to really open our eyes to the reality that the fact that this guy is not the same player anymore. He's become much more ignorant, and more importantly, he's the type of person that is not going to take any accountability to the things that he does or any of the mistakes he makes. And I feel like a lot of times people try to protect this dude for what? What? Because he shows energy and passion and all that. A lot of times I call that useless passion because it's not being put out there for a specific purpose of winning. I would watch him, get dunks off, and basically it just wimbles to nothing. I remember back in the pandemic playoffs in 2020 when he had a dunk when he was with the Rockets. He had some lame dunk against LeBron James and the Lakers. And what happened after that? They shut him down. Made it to a quick 5-game series against the Lakers. I'm just saying, you guys, we need to really wake up to the realization to the fact that the criticism of Russell Westbrook is probably a bit more justified than what you're trying to, deny it. And I'm sorry. I respect Westbrook, his talent and what he's been able to do throughout his career. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer without a shadow of a doubt. But his talent and what he's been able to do throughout his career, he should have at least 1 to 2 championships on his resume at this stage of his career. But unfortunately, he was basically traded into a very bad position in Los Angeles where nothing was ever going to get worked out, and he was going to be pretty much the scapegoat of a lot of different things. And the bottom line is that every time when he confronts the media, he's always dismissive, he's always in denial, and he tries to, sideswipe and try to, not take any accountabilities of his, mistakes and decision making. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is right now. And I feel like a lot of people need to start realizing the fact that this man cannot be defended anymore. It's about time that we need to wake up and see for what it is now. Now, does this mean that his career is over? No. I still believe that there's going to be a lot more teams that are going to take the chance of bringing in Russell Westbrook. In fact, I could see him probably going to, there's several possibilities I can think of. I can see him going to possibly the Jazz, the Knicks, and I know the Pacer deal, fell apart, but I wouldn't be surprised if they try to make another go at it to try to get Bradley to get Buddy Yield or somebody else in that matter from the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? So, the end of the day, his career is not by any stretch over with. But in terms of his opportunities of possibly winning a championship or making a possible deep run in the postseason, those days are over with now. And I think that he's just content right now of pretty much carving out of what people will think of him when his playing days are over with. And right now, it's not looking good for him after that huge experiment in LA that failed right in front of his face. He became much more He makes much more of a denying type of personality. He didn't want to take any accountability for his mistakes, and now has put himself in a very bad position. So that's just what I see in this whole situation. Is it entirely his fault? No. But at the end of the day, you also have to be accountable of how the team, succeeds or fails. And unfortunately, Russell Westbrook is the type of person that doesn't want to accept any accountability at all. And people just need to accept that. And if you can't accept that, you know what? That's your problem. But that's just my 2 cents of the whole thing. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. And with that, I'm out. Peace.